Bill Gates wore a $48 Casio on The Late Show. The Pope wore a $20 Casio. Steve Jobs was photographed for the cover of Time in a $200 Seiko that later sold at auction for $42,500. 11 watches under $500 that make luxury look like a scam. Ending on a $99 Casio that Swiss boutiques will not be photographed near. Number 11. The Marathon Pilot Navigator, $550. Every watch on this list will claim it is military-inspired. This one actually is. Marathon holds an active U.S. Department of Defense contract through the Canadian Commercial Corporation, Navy Explosive Ordnance Disposal, Air Force Pararescue, and Army Special Forces have all ordered from them. It is the only brand still building to MLPRF 46374G across its entire lineup, the most demanding current US military watch specification. The Navigator uses tritium gas tubes. It does not need charging, and it does not die at hour 18 of a long night. It just glows for the next 25 years. Marathon has an active DoD contract. Every unit meets MIL-PRF 46374G. But the next watch on this list won a British Industry Award 9 years after starting on Kickstarter, and it costs $125 less. Number 10. The Baltic HMS 002, $425. Baltic started as a Kickstarter in 2017. It raised over £400,000 and shipped. 9 years later, Baltic won British Watch Brand of the Year at the Watch Pro Awards in 2025. Assembled in France, priced like a mid-tier Seiko, and it just beat every micro-brand in the world at an industry ceremony. The HMS 002 is neo-vintage. A 38mm case, a domed sapphire crystal, and a hand-wound movement that looks like it should cost triple. The British Watch Brand of the Year 2025. Baltic is not a micro-brand anymore, and number 9 is going to make your $5,000 mechanical Rolex look like a rounding error. Number 9. The Bulova Precisionist, $200. Every quartz watch you have ever worn ticks at 32,768 Hz. The Bulova Precisionist ticks at 262,000 Hz, 8 times faster. That accuracy translates to plus or minus 10 seconds per year. 10 seconds per year. Your $5,000 mechanical Rolex is spec'd for plus or minus 2 seconds per day. Do the math. The Precisionist is 36 times more accurate than a certified chronometer. Bulova debuted this at Baselworld in 2010 and called it the most accurate watch in the world. 15 years later, in the sub-$500 tier, nobody has caught up. 36 times more accurate than a Rolex at 4% of the price. That is the value floor for this tier. The next watch replaces the one dive watch every collector begged Seiko to bring back. Number 8. The Orient Kamasu, $280. When Seiko discontinued the SKX line, every watch forum on the internet asked the same question. What replaces it? The answer was already sitting on the shelf. The Orient Kamasu runs an in-house F6922 caliber, 22 joules, 40-hour power reserve, buzz. Hacks hand wins. Made in Japan by Orient, which has been a Seiko subsidiary since 2009. Sapphire crystal at this price is nearly unheard of. 200-meter water resistance, real dive watch dimensions, and a loom pip on the bezel that most brands charge triple for. Seiko was too proud to sell you the SKX upgrade. Orient did it anyway, but the next watch will never need a battery, and it can survive depths a Rolex Submariner cannot legally certify to. Number 7. The Citizen Promaster BN0151, $300. This watch does something no dive watch in its price bracket does. It never needs a battery. Citizen's Eco Drive charges from any light source, including the light through a window on a cloudy Tuesday. Full charge holds for 6 months in total darkness. It is also ISO 6425 certified. 200 meters of water resistance, real dive watch spec, tested to a standard most watches costing $3,000 cannot meet. Divers who work for a living wear this watch, not because they cannot afford a Rolex Submariner, because they cannot afford one that dies mid-dive. Solar dive certification for $300. But the next watch on this list is a direct reissue of the archetype for every affordable Japanese diver made since 1976. Number 6. The Seiko Prospex Turtle SRPE 93. $525. This is a direct reissue of the Seiko 6309, which was produced from 1976 to 1988 and became the archetype for every affordable Japanese dive watch that came after it. The cushion case, the 4R36 caliber, the ISO-compliant lume pip. It is not an homage. It is the same watch, updated where updating helps and left alone where it does not. If you own one dive watch in your life, this is probably the one that survives you. The 6309 originals from 1976 are still ticking in drawers around the world. This one will do the same. The 1976 originals still tick in drawers around the world. This one will too. And by the time we get to number one, you will see why a $99 Casio broke the entire luxury argument. If this list is changing how you think about the $500 tier, the smartest thing you can do right now is subscribe. Every week we tear down another price band the industry does not want you to understand. Number 5. Number 5. The Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK 023-300. When Seiko launched this watch in December 2023, Fratello called it category shifting. Watches by SJX called it a category creation. Every reviewer in the affordable space used the same word. Impossible. $300 for a true GMT automatic, not a fake GMT that only tracks a second time zone via the bezel. A Caller GMT with an independently jumping local hour, the same complication Rolex charges $8,000 for. Powered by the caliber 4R34. For 80 years, GMT complications lived above $2,000. Seiko dropped a real one for $300 and the price has not moved since launch. But the next watch does something more insulting to luxury. It uses the same finishing team as Grand Seiko at 1/18 of the price. Number 4. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRP B43. $450. The cocktail time dial is finished using the same sunburst techniques Seiko uses on Grand Seiko watches costing $8,000. Same factory, same finishing team, different price tag on the box. 40.5mm, 38.5 for the smaller reference. Dress watch proportions, a 4R35 caliber automatic. The dial catches light the way a martini catches light in a Ginza bar, which is exactly where the watch designers said they got the inspiration. The name on the dial is different. The finishing team is the same. And number 3 has an 80-hour power reserve inherited from watches Hamilton built for the US military in 1942. Number 3, the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical 38, $495. Hamilton produced over 1 million watches for the US military in World War II. This is a direct descendant. Swiss-made, hand-wound 38mm case and an H50 caliber with an 80-hour power reserve. 80 hours. Wind it on Friday, put it in the drawer, pick it up Monday morning, still running. Most mechanical movements at any price die at 42. The watch has appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog on James Marsden's wrist and in Pearl Harbor on Affleck, Hartnett and Baldwin. It sold out on launch with a global waiting list. Swiss tariffs pushed the price up 9% this year. It is still worth every dollar. Hamilton is not paying homage to itself. This is the Field Watch. But number 2 has 50 million TikTok views, a 210% demand spike, and design DNA from the man who invented the luxury sports watch. Number 2, the Tissot PRX Quartz 40, $395. Chrono24 data shows Tissot PRX demand up 210% from 2024 to 2025. 50 million views on TikTok. It is the most talked about affordable watch on the planet right now, and it is not close. The design lineage runs through Gerald Genter, the man who designed the AP Royal Oak and the Patek Nautilus. The PRX is not a Royal Oak dupe. It is a 1978 Tissot design brought back exactly as it was, and the fact that it also happens to look like a $20,000 watch is the reason the internet lost its mind. Tony Parker wears one. Sabrina Ionescu wears one. Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Clint Capella, and the Wagner brothers all wear one. Tissot renewed its NBA and WNBA partnership in 2025 for 10 more years. The name on the dial says Tissot. The engineering ambition, the design lineage, the cultural moment all point at watches you cannot buy for less than 5 figures. And number 1 costs less than dinner for 2, number 1. The Casio G-Shock GA2100, $99. The Casio, the nickname was coined by Stephen Daviler in the Scottish Watches Facebook group, and it stuck because the octagonal bezel echoes a watch that starts at $25,000, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Casio's official position is that the bezel echoes the 1983 DW5000C, the original G-Shock. Everyone else knows the truth. Bloomberg wrote about it in 2021 under the headline, "G-Shock broke its own rules to design the Casio." That is the entire story in one sentence. 200-meter water resistance, shock resistant, carbon core guard structure, 9-year battery, 10-year warranty in some markets, $99. Bill Gates has been photographed in Casio dive watches on national television. Ed Sheeran did 3 separate G-Shock collabs with Hodinkee. John Mayer did 3 more. Cyril Gane, the first UFC fighter Casio ever officially sponsored, wears one in the Octagon on pay-per-view. 11 watches, everyone making the same argument in a different vocabulary. The relationship between price and quality is real up to a point. That point is around $500. Above it, you are not paying for engineering, you are paying for permission to feel certain. Buy the watch, skip the permission. Next week, the same list at $200, no compromises. The video is on screen right now. Click it.